Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. Welcome to another exciting episode of the EntreMusician podcast. This is the space where we concentrate on the mindset, discipline, and focus of the EntreMusician. Today's episode, absolutely no exception. We are going to pick up from where we left off a couple weeks ago. We did a video on the unfortunate P. Diddy situation. So I figured I would share this additional video, and there may be others, to continue drilling into the issue of mindset. Okay? That's one of our core principles here at the EntreMusician. So today I want to talk to you about you and about your unique artistry. And the reason I want to do that is because I personally believe with all of my heart that this is one area where musicians struggle, not only in the area of mindset, but with respect to how they value their artistry. Because there's so many voices out there right now. There always were, right? But due to social media, due to new technology, due to the hundreds of thousands of videos that are out there, of course, this one included, I might add, but so many different viewpoints, so many different perspectives, so many different approaches as to how you should tailor your artistry, what you need to do in terms of marketing, your metrics and strategies on how you need to do this or don't do that and when to do it and all of these things. Now, I'm not saying that they're not important, but there are so many people who are telling you what to do and not to do, that for the EntreMusician is absolutely positively, completely necessary to remain cautious and to remain selective. Now, as I said, this video, in fact, the entire EntreMusician channel is only one among thousands, right? And currently is one of the smaller channels which are out here. That's not going to remain that way, but right now we are one of the smaller ones out here. But the core principles that we embrace and we're committed to sticking to is the sharpening of mindset, of discipline, and focus. We're never going to get away from that. And the information that we share here may go totally and completely against the grain of almost everything that you've ever heard, or personally, what you may believe in currently. And we're okay with that. We thought about it, but we're okay with that because we want to offer information which makes you think very critically. That's what we want to do. We want you to think critically and deeply about your life and your career, which is why there are musicians, there are artists, there are singers, there are songwriters, and then there are EntreMusicians. We don't say that with any arrogance, but we do say it with confidence because we look for alternative options that may have never been considered before, and we share them with you. And for sure, I can tell you this, 99.9% of what we share right here on this channel, with the exception, of course, of the interviews that we do with so many brilliant musicians, the things that we share with you are because we tried them and we tested them in our personal lives and in our career. And if you've been here and you've watched videos in the past with us or listened to the podcast, I don't want to leave you guys out, you would know, though, we are forthright in sharing both what works and what doesn't. What we tried and, that was a banger, and, that was a total flop. We'll share it right here. And in full transparency, what this means perhaps is a more difficult, even slower ascension to that position of our individual definitions of success. But to us, to me personally, and to me specifically, I think it is very well worth it. It is very much worth it to just remain diligent on the journey that you've set for yourself. So with respect to what I began with, which is the importance of your unique artistry, and what I'm going to share with you today, again, this may be different. You may not even agree with it, but here's what I will ask you to do. Try it on for size, okay? I'm not going to make any guarantees, but I bet after you've heard me out, you'll be pleasantly surprised with what I'm going to share. And then, like I said before, I'm just going to share a little bit of this because I want you to chew on it. And then in a couple videos, in a couple weeks, we'll do a couple videos more on drilling down on you and your unique artistry. Now, firstly, you should absolutely, completely understand that beyond anything else, your artistry, my friend, is completely, totally, and thoroughly about YOYO. I know that's not what you've been told, right? You've been led to believe that your art is about your audience. Am I right? You've been told that your music and your creativity and your gift has more to do with your fans, your friends, your followers, the likes, the thumbs up, right? The hearts, the emojis, and your every song or your piece of content that you post has more to do with acquiring streams and algorithmic patterns than it does of you really reaching deep inside of your soul and sharing the truth of your spirit. That's what it's turned into. Now, this happens daily, every day, every single day, which is why there are more than 100,000 songs uploaded to the streaming platforms. And what do they do in turn, right? They stifle the plays which don't move their needle or meet their metrics, right? And through the popularity of paid playlists and other adjusted, misappropriated, or even malign protocols, these platforms will boost the numbers of other artists, which, although they may garner 102 million streams, that doesn't mean they're necessarily building a loyal tribe for their artistry. And that's what we want to dig into, right? The 102 million streams, trust me, is very, very cool. But if it is not building loyalty, if it is not building an organic tribe around your artistry, it's not worth it. Now, obviously, I said not necessarily if you were listening, because there are always exceptions. But I personally believe that these exceptions are because that particular artist with the 102 streams and who's doing it consistently, that this artist knew exactly what he or she was doing and who they were at the very core of their being. At the heart of their art, they were true to who they were, and what they did was based completely on the core of their spirit. That's my belief. So let's kind of drill down in that and see what you think about it, okay? See, in order to understand the importance of your unique artistry, you need to know who you are. Understand? See, that question must be settled long before you record your first project. And if it hasn't been settled, then you should immediately set your bazooka down, set it down for a few minutes or longer, and go back to the drawing board to try to figure that first thing out. Okay, make the main thing the main thing. Now, in our mindset, discipline, and focus course that we teach at the EntreMusician, we begin the course by asking no less than 250 questions about you. These are challenging, soul-searching, irritating, agitative, probing questions about who you are, and they must be answered before we do anything else. is vital. It's extremely important because you need to know who you are. You dig it? You need to understand. You need to do the hard work of digging through your mindset, your soul, your emotional and spiritual DNA to find out once and for all who you really are. Did you hear what I said? Not who someone told you you are. You need to know exactly who you are. Actually, in fact. Not who someone suggested you should be in order for you to make it in the music business. But definitely, completely, who the heck you truly are. You need to understand that trends and styles and methods and platforms and technology changes all the time. It changes, evolves, and eventually some of them dissolve. But in the midst of all of this chaos and disruption, you got to be you, right? And you got to remain being you in the midst of all of this. Does that make sense to you? You dig it? You got to be solid no matter what the weather is doing around you, the culture is doing around you, the environment is doing around you. For example, let's ask this question. Does your economic situation define you? Let's say that you were born on the lower end of the economic ladder. Does that, in fact, mean that you stay in that position all of your life? Especially if you live in the United States of America, right? But how many biographies and documentaries are there of people who were born extremely poor but became ultra wealthy later in life? And vice versa. How many people were born with a silver spoon in the lap of luxury, but toward the end, they lose it all and die penniless? Countless stories. Here's another question. Does your ethnicity define you? Or are you one who has fallen prey to the lie, to the myth that because your skin tone is of a certain color that you cannot accomplish or achieve or attain anything that anyone else has on this planet? That's a lie, because this is a mindset issue, right? And you can have and do and be anything that you've put your mind to do. Somebody said within reason, but reason is subjective. I can't be Michael Jordan, okay, right? But I don't want to be. But you got to understand that you have to deal with the mindset. And you have to settle it as soon as possible, or you're going to be chasing your own tail. Or worse, you're going to be chasing someone else's dream. You're going to try to live a life that's not really yours, which is exactly why you see the type of mess going on in Hollywood today. But not just today, historically, if you think about it. Hollywood is the story of people who thought they were pursuing their own dreams. And there's plenty of stories out there like that, right? True stories. They thought they were pursuing their own dreams. However, because they had no idea of who they really were, they became slaves and pawns to the game. These well-meaning people, innocent enough at the beginning, lost their lives later to drugs, to alcoholism, to perversion, to pure evil. And this is why knowledge, my friend, of who you definitely are will directly affect your unique artistry. Now let's go in a little deeper. Notice the word unique. Your unique artistry, your special gift, treasure which is set aside for you. It belongs to you. It's yours. It was downloaded to you on loan by your Creator, who gave it to you and entrusted it to you. And knowing yourself allows you a greater freedom and understanding how to utilize that unique gift. Therefore, you know already in advance the songs you will never sing. I've said this before, right? You know the clothes that you won't wear. You know the parts that you won't play in a movie or video because that's not you. You know the parties that you will never attend or the entanglements that you will never be a part of, no matter how much money the proverbial they offer you. You are not going to bow the knee. You are not going to compromise. You're not going to give in no matter what. You've already made it up in your mind. I've made the decision even before the choice presented itself. Now let me say this, and I'm going to get a little personal here. With respect, all due respect to anyone who's listening or watching. But personally, Jerry, me, I am a Jesus follower. Okay, I follow the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ. I believe in the God of the Bible, and I live out my faith accordingly. Even though I know this is culturally unpopular, and perhaps you yourself may either follow another system of faith, or you may be agnostic or atheistic in your personal beliefs. My heart is to stay true to myself, to stay true to my faith, and to stay true to my worldview. Now, the point that I'm making here is going to tie right into your unique artistry. I'm not taking you down a paper trail or some bunny hole or anything like that. But here's what I want to say. There was a time in my walk of faith where I used to call myself a Christian. I used to. Yeah, I'm a Christian. But I don't use that term any longer. I'll tell you why. Because over the years, I've seen a complete compromise on the word Christian. And I've seen it compromised to the point where it's so widespread and so pervasive for me that I have refused to associate myself with the term. Okay? People have compromised Christianity early on in the early church, as they say, due to differing denominations or due to the issue of race. More recently, Christianity has been compromised over social justice issues and politics and other dynamics which are completely anti-scriptural. And it's hard for me to call myself a Christian. So I say I'm a Jesus follower. I need to specifically describe exactly what I believe when I'm in conversations where I'm discussing my faith, because I can't afford to get it twisted. Because you say Christian and then people think else or other or differently than what I mean and meant that word to me. And this is what exactly needs to happen when you're discussing your art. When you're discussing your unique gift, your music, you can't afford for people to get it twisted about your unique artistry, right? You cannot afford for anyone to confuse your music with somebody else's. Your direction, your purpose, your motivation, right? Why you do what you do, the way you do it, who you really are. Too important. Too personal. You immediately need to stand out, my friend, right? You need to stand out in how you look and how you sound. You need to stand out on what your beliefs and principles are. And you need to just say why. This is why I believe as I do. Or you know what's going to happen? You're going to be unconsciously lumped in with the masses. Oh, that's a pop song. That's a rock tune. That's a funk record. That's R&B. That's EDM. And maybe you are a part of that genre, but you need to know how to say, no, I'm actually this. I actually do that. Does that make sense? See, because everything matters. Everything matters. And the affordability of compartmentalizations is over. We no longer have that luxury. And again, I guess we can blame that on social media, but everything you think, everything you say as an artist, obviously everything that you do is on display for everyone to see. And if you think you're hiding something, we'll harken back to that P. Diddy situation, unfortunately. But everything that you think is under the cover is not. And one day it all comes to light. So I hear you asking, well, Jerry, you begin by saying I should not be too concerned about my audience. Yes, not backing away from that. I did say that, right? But here's the thing. It's not that your audience doesn't matter, okay? What I want you to concentrate on is priority. And I said your artistry, your unique artistry really is about you, okay? So number one, as we said already on the clipboard, number one is knowing yourself. Indeed, number two is your unique, authentic art. Now, your audience, to be just brutal, your audience, your followers, your fans may be number 4 or 5 on your list, especially if you have a family or there's some other particular situation which takes precedence, such as your health or you know, your faith or what have you. And wherever we do classify building and nurturing our audiences, we must be certain that we're using the approach of narrowcasting rather than broadcasting. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Narrowcasting. Okay, we're talking about beginning your artistry with a few true followers whom you can pour into, whom you can build relationship and build trust and create what Seth Godin many years ago called a tribe, right? You can create a tribe, develop a family-like environment, which weeds out the fickle and the feckless, right? Because your tribe knows you. Your tribe understands you. They support you. And they share your artistry with others. They're telling people about you all the time, right? Not only do they believe in you, but they believe as you do. Do you understand that? Maybe not every teeny weeny little thing, but for the larger areas, for the points and principles that count, they, your fans, your followers, your friends, your family, your tribe, they see life and live life primarily according to the same tenets that you espouse. Many embrace the same faith-based values, if that's your tribe. Many enjoy the same hobbies, or the same vacation spots even. They support the same charities. They share the same resources, right? But the thread that really hones into the quilt is that they're into your music. They're into your unique artistry. That's what's woven into the tapestry of their lives. So this is what I mean. The importance and understanding the importance of your unique artistry takes work. You know, this takes knowing that you know who you are and why you are here. So when it takes a moment to build your social channels and you're a little discouraged, when you're trying to increase your viewership and it's going slower than you think it should go, perhaps nobody is coming to your shows yet in the droves that you imagine they should, when nobody's buying your music or buying your merch, and when everyone is still talking about what so-and-so did or said in their video, and you're tempted. You're tempted to jump on the bandwagon. You're tempted to tweak your sound. Now listen, if it's bad, it's bad. I'm not saying that. But if it's your unique sound and it's good, and you know it has enough magnetism, but the people haven't flocked over yet, chill. Don't change your socks to walk in a direction which is not your own. Don't do it. I'm not going to lie. This takes courage. And this approach is completely unpopular today. It takes longer to achieve your goal, and there are times when you grow impatient. I'm speaking from my heart here. It's like, when? But in those moments, my friend, you need to return to ground zero, okay? You need to reassess your why. You need to dig deeply into the annals of your very purpose and hold on for dear life. You find that in those moments that this really is the training ground. This is where you sharpen your skills. You sharpen your writing. You sharpen your proficiency on your instrument. You sharpen your production approach. You sharpen your performance. You rehearse and prepare and prepare and prepare and prepare. Because as sure as you are walking in the direction of your unique artistry, success will find you. That's for certain. Without a doubt. And when success finds you, then you won't regret your choices. You can wake up with a clear conscience that you did not compromise. You could wake up knowing I never gave in, right? I never went there. My integrity is intact. So here's my heart for you, my brother, my sister, my friend. Don't give up. Hold on and go forth. You have everything it takes. In fact, you have more than it takes. You just need to sharpen it. You're destined to shine brightly. You're destined to build a fortress. So do so, brick by brick by brick. Just make sure you always stay true to yourself. As I said before, first you got to know yourself. I had to stick that back in there. But stay true to who you know you are. And stay true to the unique artistry that's within you. Appreciate you hanging out with me today. I hope you were pleasantly surprised, as I trusted you may be. Call me and let me know. Email me and let me know. Text me and let me know. Schedule a call with me. All you got to do is just schedule 15 minutes. I'm accessible to you. Please, I ask that you like and subscribe to our channel, that you share this podcast with someone you know who needs it, right? And let's grow together. We're taking the true train to success. That's why I always say my name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, but my friend, you know what's most important. So are you. We will see you again next time.